Hi, my friends and family. This is Trey Smith, and you are watching Trey's Timeless 15 Minutes of Explain on YouTube and Odyssey. And today, my talk is called Overstanding the Undermined. I got to get the funk out of this insane and geoengineering so-called atmospheric river of rain. 'Cause your nano-engineering is so much pain. I have to tell the world it's time to put a stop to this evil again. I'm an Irishman, I would never whip anyone down in Africa. I know that I gotta get the funk away from you, who try to kill us off with all these invisible weapons and just obey what the devil says to do. I'd never whip anyone in Africa. I got to reclaim parts of my heart and brain from Africa. I learned not to be so insane in Africa. 'Cause I'm a whitey, can't you see? That's what's wrong with me. Overstanding the undermined. This term overstanding, I think, originates from the Rastafarians of Jamaica. So, overstanding the sacred divine Christ's heart is the real original creator of all things. Starting Castaneda books when I was 16 years old, I remember this one saying that I believe it was Howdy Michkowski who pointed it out, that they said Castaneda called them the Flyers. He said the Flyers gave us their mind. What does that mean? By the way, when I say what does that mean, my friend Dr. Bruce, that's the way he puts things. I got that style from him, but it's good. He's from New Jersey, so anyway, so it means it's a roundabout way of referring to the dark side, the negative alien races that hybridized in many different insane advanced technologies and interjected their lower reptilian or fear-based consciousness or exaggerated it into us, especially considering this is coming in Mexico and from that, the tradition that was heavily infiltrated by the Dracos for a very long time, since they destroyed the Mayan civilization. So you have no choice. You have owners. This is something Mark Passio quote from George Carlin. So in the 2020 fires, we have the Santa Cruz Auditorium, the Red Cross is helping out, right? So this is the Hegelian thing again. So where does this term Red Cross and Red Shield come from? Well, the Red Shield was the name chosen for the Khazarians that created Hollywood and who were behind this New World Order openly, really, and or they don't try to dispute it. It's been research showed they funded both sides of all the wars in the last couple hundred years, and since they came to power and infiltrated Of course, they created the mainstream media, a lot of it Hollywood. They purchased the FCC, as I said before, and so the Red Cross, of course, is their organization there to rescue you after some forces that they're aligned with. Perhaps they, actually heard a machine set off that fire. It was the most craziest sound I've ever heard. The machine, it was a loud rumbling, and then several hours later there was electricity, and then they burned down the town of Last Chance. You have to look at how psychopaths are celebrated in our so-called culture, the inverted mainstream, and how the narcissistic predator entities, as I call them, are not you. Otherwise, as I've said many times, they come in and hijack your peace of mind, the quality of your life, or it gets much worse than that, obviously. So never forget, we are made in the original mind of God, the original Christos, which, although this weather weapon is extremely powerful, I mean, no doubt, it has no heart. The heart of killing, the heart of darkness, the heartlessness of the dark side is the end of all wars. Because if you look deeply into it, look into the suffering, look into the genocide attempts, and sometimes the successful and extremely successful mind control wars we've had lately, you have to realize that there's no heart in this, what's happened the last couple of years. It's all about control and slavery and domination, and nothing to do with heart. So that's why I try to preach and teach myself and reclaim equanimity, is to say the Orients, or at least those who are actually Buddhists, they never lost, or the Native Americans. So trust in the source. The original mind of God is allowing trust in the source, an extension of love. Okay, this is how you overstand the undermined, and how they infiltrated, how the satanic and the Illuminati, the Dracos and the Belial sons, the Anunnaki and the Demiurge have infiltrated most of our lives so successfully through undermining us, through, again, as I've said many times, the insertion of their dogma or their reptilian dominance, their hierarchy. But the original Christos has none of that shit. That's the dark. As I've said before, if you consider we would learn nothing in heaven, then eventually everyone has to respect the fact that Satan and Lucifer and all that was allowed to exist as a shadow. Okay? The prison system, when they only controlled the allopathics and the prison system, having Mercury and Capricorn retrograde, I was like, well, I guess, it makes sense to have the dark side control those, people who take upon themselves the karma to do horrible things or to get into accidents. But that's before I learned of the monopolization and the extreme infiltration even into the reincarnation process, which is really gnarly. So just remember, we're all a ray of the soul Helios, and not the one and only God, but a part of it. You have to trust in the source and the extension of love, the awareness of forced classism is inhuman. Okay, around this Santa Cruz County, for example, a lot of people probably feel a pressure towards classism, to act like these poor or the poor don't exist because they've been begged so many times, they've seen tweakers or been accosted by thieves and drug addicts and drunks so many times that they begin to feel, or say that, on the other hand, the millionaires who can actually afford Santa Cruz, to start to be disrespectful to them because they have enough money to afford it, and you are jealous, or you hate wealthy people I don't hate on the millionaires because you would have to be a millionaire to afford this county. But billionaires are a whole different scenario. I mean, why would anyone need that much stuff? Your children's children will live under communism. You Americans are so gullible. You won't accept communism outright, but we'll keep feeding you small doses of socialism until you wake up in communism. We won't have to fight you. We'll so weaken you. We'll so weaken your economy until you fall like unripe fruit into our hands. Nikita Khrushchev, 1959, that was in a Mark Passio presentation I was looking at today. Here's another one. America is like a healthy body, and its resistance is threefold. It's patriotism, it's morality, and it's spiritual life. If we can undermine these three areas, America will collapse from within. Joseph Stalin. The ability to psychologically force your will on another is not power. It is the massive force of weakness. Order followers are often inherently mind control agents and are often inherently mind control agents and 100% evil. They could not force everyone to take these shots in the vaccine passport system because of people like me and some of you and Ron DeSantis and Kristi Noem. So they ramped up the weather warfare, the atmospheric river. Imagine burning down the entire town, flooding out whole cities just to get a paycheck. Okay, a soldier would go off into a foreign country and kill strangers, and even Buddhists often, for a paycheck or to defend America from communism. And believe that line, right? These days, someone is either flying these planes, remote controlling them, or they're evil, negative alien, anti-human ETs dumping this stuff, seeding these clouds, one of the three, to get a paycheck, to live their life. They get to kill everyone or decimate the entire atmosphere, take over the entire ionosphere to raise their family and get a paycheck. Oh, how pathetic can you be? Okay? Wake up. The Christ is real, and this is not weather. Okay? Flooding whole cities to get a paycheck. Lockheed employees, you better quit your job, protest, or demand another assignment. Like I said before, in Operation Paperclip, Big Pharma brought the Nazis, pseudoscientists, social scientists over to create these socialist programs. The West Coast, the psychiatry business as we know it now. The climate change narrative comes from these same engineers. The New Age cults, Pollyanna, have to act like it's all good in the hood. You made all that up, Trey. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as cloud seeding. Those are all natural. Now let's all smoke weed and be a hippie. All large organizations are infiltrated. We must have courage to see over the hologramic illusion of the indentured servitude and forced obedience and compliance to the reptilians' overlords, planetary takeover plan, and just say no to Big Brother, yo-yo, crazy psychopath, narcissistic, predator, anti-humans. No, sorry guys, you can't keep doing this and expect us to just be cool with it. If you work at Lockheed, get another job or get another assignment. And if you enjoyed this broadcast, then click the subscribe button, and it's all good because the Christ is always on my side. The great oneness is with me at all times. Many blessings and one love to you, my family.